With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 4 of 4.
Etc.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
30 years ago. And what led me to become vegetarian was I was in physiology class, and we had an assignment that we needed to take the 4 food groups and analyze and how the production methods were also physiologically affecting the human body.
Please stay with us to enjoy this illuminating congress.
What moral right have humans to lay on sensitive creatures the suffering of their own vanity, greed, and cowardice, and a host of various sins? Naomi Lewis, vegan.
Today's program will be presented in English with subtitles in Arabic, Olaxese, also known as Vietnamese, Chinese, English, French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Korean, Mongolian, Persian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Thai, and Ukrainian or Iranian. Hello, noble viewers. I am Francis. St. Lucia's loving and carefree people wish you happiness and enlightenment throughout your life, which will radiate to everyone you meet. May world vegan, world peace soon become a reality. St. Lucia is a small island nation in the West Indies region of the Caribbean, with the name honoring the venerated St. Lucy of the Roman Catholic Church. This island is one of only 2 sovereign nations to be named after a woman. St. Lucia also has the distinction of being among the top 3 countries where women comprise more than 50% of management positions. Covered by lush rainforests, the island has several nature reserves that provide a safe home for plants and animal people, including a multitude of bird-people species. The once endangered St. Lucia Amazon, a wondrously colored parrot, has thankfully returned to a stable population. The island is also well known for its majestic twin peaks called the Pitons, said to be the most photographed in the Caribbean. Island culture includes traditional attire such as the beautiful madras and its unique headdress. St. Lucia's heritage is also celebrated through the festivals of La Rose and La Marguerite. Nearly the entire island participates by choosing one of the flowers as a side and engaging in friendly competitions of song and dance with the other side. St. Lucia's annual jazz festival also attracts visitors from around the world. In December 2010, the first ever Middle East Vegetarian Congress was held at the Dubai International Exhibition Center, with the public invited to engage in an interactive exploration of the plant-based lifestyle. Organized by the Middle East Veg Group, or MEVEG, supported by the Middle East Natural and Organic Product Expo 2010, and endorsed by the Dubai Health Authority of the United Arab Emirates, the event provided 2 days of seminars, workshops, and video telecasts with experts from around the world, along with rejuvenating veg cuisine. In addition, Supreme Master Ching Hai Vegan was specially invited to speak via live video link on being a vegan, an environmentally sustainable food choice, followed by a question and answer session with attendees and the launch of the Arab edition of the international best-selling book The Birds in My Life, which was already sold out pre-launch. The Birds in My Life was printed by the United Printing and Publishing, a subsidiary of Abu Dhabi Media Company or ADMC, owned by the government of Abu Dhabi.
Be veg, go green to save the planet, yo!
We now invite you to join us for part 30 of the conference titled The First Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress, held in the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates on December 7, 2010 with Cynthia Gonzalez, vegan, a human relations coach whose presentation is called Food, Emotion, and Life Force.
As a support group, with all the support from all of you here today and from everybody, we plan to start 2011, have a support group in the UAE for people who want to make the change. They want to know how to go about it. So that, okay, do I do it 2 days a week? Do I do 3 days a week? What do I start? So this is one tool that we had launched about 3 months ago. But today I'm so delighted to announce the launch of our second tool. May I invite on stage our vegan friend from the Emirates, Lina Abbas, please. A round of applause. Well, we're going to launch something very unique today. Yes. And what do we have?
Oh, interesting. Would you like to share it with everybody? It's your feather in your cap.
What we have today is the first 100% vegetarian map of Dubai, which is being launched so that you can have a ready tool when you go there. It's going to be available at all the airports, at all the different outlets, restaurants, and this is a humble effort that has been supported by one of the companies called SPI. You see them on our gratitude banner out there, who've come forward and produced and published this. Thank you so much, SPI.
The next step is to put it on the GPS system as well. The veggie map. Yes, excellent. Let's launch that.
Yes, please. Can I, as soon as you finish with all the map distribution, can I have all our volunteers please up here on stage? Thank you. A big round of applause, please.
These volunteers have been working day and night to put up this wonderful Congress. Because of their support, it's been a wonderful ride. How many vegetarians already here in the hall? Could you kindly raise your hand? Excellent. I want to share with the people who are still speculating with it that it's not that if you go veg, you're all healthy. Amongst a lot of veg people also, I see very unhealthy habits. I mean, just having chips, fried chips, or things with a lot of oil, or overcompensating the meat, especially who are converts from non-veg to veg. They overcompensate by having a lot of bread, by the way. Because as far as I know, a vegan or a vegetarian can never be fat. Where does that fat come from? Why are people overweight? So then it's not just going veg or vegan, it's the lifestyle. You have to change your lifestyle, your habits, start thinking about it, and that actually has an impact. So I think it's about lunchtime. The lunch is going to be by Loving Hut, and they have come up with a very, very interesting dishes. Try your palate, and thank you so much, Loving Hut, for sponsoring this particular lunch for our delegates. See you back.
My name is Amar. I have been working with them, this team, and I'm giving support to them. I have tasted the food. It's the excellent food, excellent. I'm not 100% vegetarian, but I will become after this. I will eat vegetarian only. I will stop eating meat. This was a very attractive food, very tasty food.
The food was amazing. I wasn't expecting, I was not going to eat the food. But one of the Supreme Master television people, they brought it for me and I enjoyed it. It was so good that I went to the chefs and told them that you've done a real good job. So I love the food. I hope that they can open up a restaurant in Dubai. Our next speaker is going to be Sintha. So Sintha here is an amazing person. I mean, she'll share the experiences and you call yourself a raw foodist. Wow. So Sintha Gonzalez has been a vegetarian for 30 years and a raw foodist for 7 years. And after having accepted, she wanted to feel that good all of the time. Once she accepted the fact that she was going to be having raw. Sintha comes from the US, which she left in 1987. She has lived in Latin America and Europe since then, and now has been in UAE for the last 12 years. During her 25 years as a counselor, plus her own personal journey, she has come to understand the rich relationship between food and emotion. Now, that's a very interesting point to our eating habits. So I give the stage to Sintha.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just first want to thank MEVEG. I'm really honored to be part of this, and I think it's just an absolutely wonderful gathering and raising the consciousness. So thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this. So my talk is called Food, Emotion, and Life Force, and I'm going to start with my own personal story. And it's a progression. I first became vegetarian 30 years ago. And what led me to become vegetarian was I was in physiology class, and we had an assignment that we needed to take the 4 food groups and analyze them, and also analyze how they were being produced at that time. This was in the 70s, in the States, and how the production methods were also physiologically affecting the human body. Well, that did it. And it also helped that I had 2 girlfriends that were experimenting with vegetarianism. So once I started, and I gave myself 3 months to try, there was no going back. So that was quite a while ago. And then in my 20s, I'm a counselor and I studied psychology, and I was starting to practice. And I couldn't ignore the fact that I knew that I was using food sometimes for the wrong reasons. And I was going to it for comfort, for working through emotions, finding myself compulsively acting out on food. And I couldn't live with that inconsistency. And I didn't feel really valid or an integrity to be doing my work if I myself didn't really recognize and work through those issues that I was acting out on the food. So that was a big thing, and it was a very humbling moment for me. And then that led me to Overeaters Anonymous. I wasn't an obese person. I was slightly overweight, but I knew that aside from the body issues, the real issue was that I knew I wasn't eating for the right reasons in certain times. This Overeaters Anonymous helped me a lot. Now, the slogan that helped me a lot, and it still is my motto today, and something that I work with all the time, put down the food, feel the feelings. And that's going to be something that's going to be an important part of this talk, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, the whole thing that I had to learn was, what is the difference between being emotionally hungry and physically hungry? And what I did was, at the time I was living in France, and I was really kind of, how do I begin? I didn't know. Sometimes I genuinely did not know, am I physically hungry or am I emotionally hungry? So what I did was I made this sign on the refrigerator, and I put it, and I said, are you physically hungry or are you emotionally hungry? Be honest. And then I placed a chair right in front of the refrigerator with my journal and a pen ready to go. And that became, it was like behavioral conditioning. It was, okay, we're going to really ask this. And if there is an emotional thing that's going on here, let's write about it. Let's journal on this. Let's feel it. Let's take it to another level. And that's still something I use today. So then it was 10 years ago, through some certain life circumstances, somebody else in my life had some real health issues. And then I decided to go vegan. I always had milk intolerance, lactose intolerance. I couldn't ignore that. And I decided to look at the emotional reasons why I kept taking in something that really wasn't good for me. And my body was saying, I don't want this, but why are you still doing this? And I'll get to that, what those emotional connections are briefly. And then I met my first raw foodist. I didn't even know really raw food way of living existed. And I met her in 2000. And I was on holiday when I met her, and I just was very impressed by her, and it didn't leave me. And I said, I want that. I want what she has, but I'm not ready. And I was very aware of certain foods that it was out of the question that I could have let go of at that time, even though I felt a real inclination to go on that path. And that lasted for 3 years. And then finally, in 2003, I did the Art of Living course for the first time, which for those of you who don't know, it's a lovely course in breathing and yoga and meditation. And in that course, I just felt absolutely fantastic. I felt the absolute best I had ever felt my entire life. And in that week, I had kind of instinctively gone raw without calling it that. And at the end of the week, I said, I want to feel this good all the time. And I wasn't quite ready, but in the next few months, synchronicities in my life led me to go down that path, and I haven't looked back since.
Making war? Don't you feel people hate you enough already?
Devoted viewers, thank you for your presence today for the first Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress on Words of Wisdom. Please join us next Monday, January 30th for part 31 of this illuminating conference. Coming up next is The Case for an Amazing Animal People Meat-Free World by Dr. Kartik Shaker, Vegan, part 1 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May your compassionate and noble deeds with God's blessings uplift those around you.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Műsoraink sok nyelvet tartalmaznak. Kérjük, tekintse meg itt suprememastertv.com/schedule és suprememastertv.com/WOW.